What's up, SWTOR players, and welcome back to another Fashion Alert. If you're new to the channel, these Fashion Alerts are my way of keeping SWTOR players up to date on new, grindable armor sets as they're introduced to the game, so that players can keep their drip dripping and come up with new outfit ideas. And today I'm finally getting around to PvP Season 8, Champions of the Wild, where we have the usual 4 armor sets to take a look at. And if you'd appreciate more Fashion Alerts like these, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the video, starting off with the new armor sets themselves, and then briefly talking about how to get your hands on them. As with previous PvP seasons, Season 8 brings us 4 new armor sets, 2 that you earn by working your way up the seasonal rewards track, and 2 that are purchasable from the PvP vendor in exchange for PvP tokens. Beginning with the Bestial Champion set, I kinda liked the helmet for what it is at first glance, but some of that interest faded when I saw that it's a face mask laid over a hood with the same design as the last PvP sets. Or a full helmet under a hood? I'm not sure. One of those. In fact, a lot of this set is just kind of an upgrade of the last season's PvP armor sets, like the devs had an abundance of leftover feathers they wanted to use up. Either that or someone at Broadsword is going through a feather fetish phase. Anyway, the helmet is alright, but I wish it was just a full helmet, not a mask over a hood. The bracers are real chunky and not very attractive, but they have a very high resolution design on them, so that counts for something. The chest piece is similar to last season's PvP armor sets, but with some armor plating added to the chest, shoulders, arms, and hips. It looks better than last season's sets, but it's still not great. The belt is really simple, and it's also similar to last season's. The gloves are short, and they have asymmetrical plating on the back of the hands. Now the boots would be really nice if it weren't for these feathers. They have great textures, a great shape and details, and a nice upturned toe, but the feathers just make them worse. And lastly, the pants are nicely textured and loose, and are pretty much the same as last season's set with some added knee pads. As I said with the chest piece, overall, this set is a slight improvement over the sets from the last PvP season, but I still don't care much for it. To grab this full set, you'll need to reach level 16 of the rewards track, either by earning it through PvP matches or by buying your way there. Luckily though, I think the helmet here is one of the better pieces these sets have to offer, and you just need to reach level 1 to get it. Next up, we have the second of the 2 armor sets you can earn from the rewards track, the Armor of the Wild. Now this is essentially the same set as the last, but now it has some added glowing portions to most of the set's pieces, and the feathers glow was turned up to 11. I'm not usually someone to advocate for feathers, as I think I've demonstrated, but I will say that for some reason they're more palatable for me when they're glowing like this. To pick up the entire Armor of the Wild set, you'll need to complete the rewards track and reach level 30. Moving to the 2 sets that you need to purchase from the PvP vendor in the combat section of either fleet with PvP tokens, we have the Bestial Warrior set. This set has the same model as the Bestial Champion set, but with a different color scheme, this time replacing the gray, copper, and orange with blue, green, and brown. And lastly, we have the Armor of the Beast, with this one using the same model as the Armor of the Wild and splashing in the same blue, green, and brown colors. It does have a few more designs and glowing portions sprinkled throughout the set as well. Each of these 2 sets will cost you 6 PvP tokens, and all 4 of the sets take dyes fairly well, although all of the armor plating retains its color. Now, I'm not a huge fan of any of these 4 armor sets. I wasn't a fan of the last PvP season's armor sets, and with these ones really just building on top of those, unsurprisingly I feel the same about these. I do think this season's sets are a little more interesting than last season's though, and there are a few pieces here and there among these that I could find spot uses for. And for everything else we could say about them, the helmets are definitely unique, so I'll be picking up at least the first helmet on the reward track. Now I've gone over how to get these PvP armor sets in my Fashion Alert for Season 7, so I won't rehash everything here. But, in general, you're going to compete in PvP matches, whether they be war zones or arenas, and accumulate points for completing those matches and finishing weekly objectives relating to them. But if you're not eager to jump into PvP, you can purchase your way through part of the rewards track using credits, which will get you the first armor set, the Bestial Champion set, and some of the Armor of the Wild set, the helmet and the gloves to be exact. And by doing this, you'll pick up enough PvP tokens to pick up one of the other 2 sets from the vendor if you want. That being said, it's absurdly expensive to buy your way up the rewards track in this fashion, but the first few levels are pretty reasonable. If you wanted to blow all your hard-earned credits on this shortcut, I believe it costs somewhere around a whopping billion credits just to get to level 15. But you can get the first 5 levels for a much more reasonable figure of just north of 10 million credits. And you can get the helmet of the Bestial Champion set, which I think is one of the only pieces here I'd want to grab, for a paltry 25,000 credits. This ability to catch up with credits isn't always available, but it is now, as we're nearing the end of the PvP season. Now, with Season 8 though, you can also buy your way through the track with cartel coins, like you can with the Galactic Seasons rewards track. And this is also pretty costly, as it'll take 3,000 cartel coins to unlock the entire track, with each level costing 100 coins. But you can use the CC to purchase the entire rewards track, all the way up to level 30, whereas credits can only get you to, I believe, level 20. Just in general, I advise against purchasing this progress through either credits or cartel coins, but I definitely advise against it in this case, where I'm not too impressed with the rewards. But if that's what you want to do, these are the two non-PvP methods you can employ to get your hands on these. One nice thing about these armor sets is that all of the pieces bind to your legacy once you get them, allowing you to send them to all of your other characters. But the whole set won't unlock in your collections unless you collect all of the pieces to a set on one character. And if you choose to do that, you can print infinite copies on that character and send them around to other characters. And I realize I should explain some reasons you might want to do this. Beyond just having the set available to send to other characters in the future, I often find myself wanting to incorporate a legacy-bound item into some of my outfits, and dye it. So by printing copies of the pieces I want and sending them to other characters, I can keep one set on one character undyed and send pieces to other characters that I'm free to dye. And sometimes the dye you want to apply to the armor piece is pretty expensive, so you don't want to have to later destroy that dye module you spent all those credits on. So with this method, I can have access to the undyed armor set at any time and keep my expensively dyed piece in that character's inventory. Also, if you want to drape a companion in one of these legacy-bound sets, you have to leave the item on them. You can't stamp them with a persistent outfit. So this method allows you to throw the armor pieces on your companion and still have easy access to the set. Anyway, this PvP Season 8 is set to run until mid-September, so there are just about 40 days left to get some PvP matches done, or at least decide if you want to spend your credits or coins on these rewards. And that'll do it for this Fashion Alert. What do you think about these new PvP armor sets? Are you disappointed they recycled the last season's sets and didn't go in a new direction? Can you tell the difference between a new direction and a new direction? Let us know down in the comments. And remember to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to Backseat Gamers for more fashion alerts and other SWTOR content. Thank you for exploring the developer's feather fetish with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.